Nobody indeed. What is good? Welcome into Driving the Nightline. My name is Alan Bell, and look at this crew that we have today. Exactly what we want, man. Good to see everybody. And I'll tell you what, I'll let everybody say hello when they give their picks because it might take 30 minutes just to get through introductions. But everybody's looking great. Absolutely love it. We got a ton of picks. Now, before we look forward, we do have to look back as we always do. And solid day, man. We'll absolutely take that one. Dude, TJ, good call on that Senators Canadians over 5.5. What was that, 6-3?
Oh, yeah, didn't get there until third period, so we did get a good sweat out of it, but gotta love the sweat.
There we go, man. Gotta love the sweat indeed. Now, what we also gotta love is playing March Madness Tournament Challenge brackets. Everybody, make sure to scan the QR codes here. All right, 2 different leagues that we have going, and both of them are free. You can win a ton of money in both of them, cash, prizes, merch, you absolutely name it. So scan those because remember, they will lock tomorrow once the first games start. Okay, enough of that. We've got all of that out of the way. Let's go ahead and get to the picks. Seth, you're up first, my man. Go ahead and let it rip.
All right, boys. We got UAB first half +3. UAB's been dominant in the first half in games all year. I'll look for them to continue that here against St. Joe's. Their high first half average is a credit to their offensive rhythm and speed, paired with their ability to get second chance boards. I like them to keep it tight here in the first half in St. Joe's and possibly win this thing outright. But we're going to take the 3 points. Staying in the NCAA, we got Bradley money line, North Texas money line. Look, the NIT tournament being so volatile, we're just going to keep it simple here. Pair Bradley, who has been a battle-tested and experienced team, pair them up with North Texas, who's one of the most suffocating defenses in college. I look for both of these teams, which have the defensive edge against their opponents to come out on top at the end of the day. Enough with the end of games. We're going to go to the beginning now in the NBA. Wizards first quarter +1 versus the Jazz. 2 teams that are in the mix for the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. Neither of them want to win, but somebody's got to earn a paycheck and go out there and score some damn points. So I'm going to go with the Wizards in the first quarter spot plus the point. They're averaging more than Utah, 27 first quarter points versus Utah's 22 in the last 3. Safe to say the Jazz may be the worst of these 2 teams. So like I said, we're going with Wizards +1 in the first quarter. And then the last pick I've got today, a little shot on goal parlay here in a small NHL slate. We've got Cale Makar, who's averaging 3 shots on goal per game this season, coming off a weak performance in his last game with just 1 shot on goal. Look for him to pick it up tonight and hit this mark of 2. Then we've got Martin Nikes. He's averaging 2.5 shots on goal this season and went on an absolute tear in his last outing, getting 8 shots on goal. I do look for some regression, obviously, but he should maintain his momentum and hit the 2 shot on goal for us. And Mr. Nylander, the strongest leg in this parlay, his average is 3.28 shots on goal this season, and he's hit this line in 9 out of his last 10 games. He's going to round out the 3-legger there. And that's it for me.
Nice job. Nice job, my boy. Nice job indeed. All right, now, our man, Japan. All right. Losing service. Hey, I dealt with it this morning. I know how it feels, buddy. He's going Chris Paul over 6.5 assists at -106. So, service, buddy, been there, man. It stinks. But you got the pick in. That's what's most important. All right, my boy, the Prince of Picks himself. Now, you have 3 plays. These are soccer for Thursday, correct?
Correct. Yep, these are for Thursday, for tomorrow. So, so let's go ahead and get into it, guys. So we got March Madness going on right now for the college basketball, right? But we're also in March Madness for international soccer. Pretty much every region around the world right now is going through World Cup qualifying. So you got a lot of do or die matches, teams in must-win scenarios here to qualify for the biggest tournament in the world. So we're going to go ahead and cover a few of those here right now. We got a 12 p.m. Eastern kickoff tomorrow. We're going to start off in the World Cup qualifying for the Asian region. We have Uzbekistan taking on Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan coming to this one having allowed the 3rd most goals out of the 18 teams currently competing. Their defense has been in shambles as of recently, and they have allowed 3+ goals in 4 of their last 5 matches. Meanwhile, Uzbekistan on the other side have scored 3+ in 3 straight head-to-head, and they will need to score goals here to improve their goal differential in the group here. They're very solid defensively, so I'm not sure if I trust Kyrgyzstan to score in this one. So I'm just going to go with Uzbekistan team total over 2.5 here at plus 105. Next up, we're going to go to a 2 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Again, this is taking place on Thursday. Staying in the Asian region for World Cup qualifying, we have a match between Qatar taking on North Korea. Both teams coming to this one in terrible form and have been really leaking in goals defensively. Qatar have conceded a goal in 10 straight and 15 of their last 17. Meanwhile, North Korea have also conceded a goal in 7 straight and 19 of their last 22 matches. I think we see a shootout here between two teams that really can't defend at all, and both teams here in desperate need of a win. I'm going to take Qatar, North Korea, game total over 2.5 goals here. That one's at minus 105. And then finally, we're going to go over to the African region, African World Cup qualifying, 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff, again, taking place on Thursday, where we have a match between Gabon and Seychelles. Seychelles, one of the worst teams, not just in Africa, but in the entire world. They're currently ranked 201st out of 210 competing nations in the world. So they're a really, really bad team here. However, on the other side here, Gabon, they really struggle to score offensively. And their matches have hit under 4.5 in 65 of their last 66 games. So these games involving Gabon typically are low scoring. I do expect Gabon to win comfortably in this one, but I can't see them scoring more than 4, even against a bad Seychelles team. And I really don't see Seychelles scoring in this one either. So I'm going to take the game total under 4.5 here at minus 125 in what could be somewhat of a lower scoring game than a lot of people might expect.
All right, so a couple things here. First off, all right, did you say that they have hit the under? Give that stat again.
So games featuring Gabon, those matches out of their last has hit under 4.5 in 65 of their last 66 matches. So only one time has the total gone over 4.5 in their matches.
That's insane. I mean, that's the most insane stat that I've ever heard. That's consistency.
Correct.
Also, yeah, correct. Right. Also, not gonna lie, I did not know that North Korea had a team. But
oh man, they have a team. You know what? They're a fun team to watch, actually, guys. If any of you ever get a chance to watch them, they're kind of a kamikaze style play. So really entertaining. They score and they concede, but yeah, interesting to watch them play for sure.
No, that checks out.
Nobody knows anything about them. Even the soccer community doesn't know anything about them. So.
So it's just like the country.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, complete anonymity for them.
Well, at least you know what? They're themselves. All right,
exactly.
We'll give them credit on that one.
They are themselves, yes.
Dude, nice work on that one, man. All right, TJ, break us down here. What you got, buddy?
Okay, we're going to the NHL for one play. Avalanche at Toronto over 5.5 minus 130. If you like it at the 6 number for a better number, I'd take it. It was at 6.5 this morning, and I even liked it then. You got Joseph Woll going up against Mackenzie Black. Both these goalies have averaged over 2.6 goals in the last 2 weeks, and both these offenses are top 10 in the league, scoring an average of 3.2 per game. They played just 11 days ago, and the score was 7-4, 11 total goals.
Nice. Okay, there we go. 11 total goals.
Just
solid.
11 days ago.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Number 11. That must be our lucky number. Now, flipping over here. Okay. So well done, boys. Great job there. All right. I'm going to go first, and then Bibbo, you're going to take us home, big dog. All right. So first, I'm going to go Tarleton State team total over 4.5 runs at minus 120. If you can't bet team totals, I don't mind the over. I believe it's sitting at 13 right now. I would not go above 13. I know it sounds weird, but there's a big difference between 13 and needing 14. So I wouldn't hate it there, but if you can get the team total, Tarleton, take it. Team total over 4.5 minus 120. Next, we're going to go James Madison, West Virginia, over 13.5 at minus 115. James Madison, all right, not bad. I think West Virginia mashes. That's what this team does. They've been doing it all season long, and especially with kind of a weird weekend in regards to they had games that were canceled due to extreme winds. I think the West Virginia is going to come out and mash all day long. So give me the over 13.5 there. And then yeah, we're putting together a money line parlay of 3 teams, but it's only because we have such a weird small slate of games to play today. We're going to take North Carolina money line. We're going to take Wofford money line, and we're going to take West Virginia on the money line. Again, those 3, put them together, minus 115. If anybody's new to college baseball, yes, 3 legs of a parlay at minus money, never something you want to do, but welcome to college baseball. It's what we have to do, and especially on a day like this. So I didn't want to take Wofford -1.5 on the run line, even though I don't hate it. It's just risky, man. I just wanted to play money line, so we're going to take those 3 there. All right, Bibbo, my man, you've got 1 play here, and then you've got 2 parlays as well. So let me know when you're done with this one, and I'll flip it over to the next 2. But all you, big dog, let it rip. We can't hear you. I think you're on mute, my man. You're still on mute. All right.
There we go. Okay.
There we go.
I'm
We
sorry.
got it. There you
I'm
go.
sorry.
You good? You good?
I was unmuted on the screen, but I hit the little mute button on my headset. All right. So my history is more of a DFS player, right? So DFS, you zig when everybody else zags. I know that this Mount St. Mary's American game are 2 under teams, right? This is more of a zag play than anything, right? I don't really have a good feel on this game, which is strange to say if this is going to be an official pick. But that being said, go ahead and flip it, and I'll show you the parlays here. So what I've done here is I've sort of just done a min max with the over for the extra juice, right? 246, and I've taken the pluses on each side. American 6.5, Mount St. Mary's 8.5. This game I think is going to be very close, and you guys talked about it this morning. I don't think either team is going to walk away from the other, but I just don't know who's going to win. So I've combined that sort of bell curve part of the bet with the over, just because I think that most of the people are going to go on the under on this, and I'm sort of zagging when everybody else is zigging. Does that make sense to everybody? And I didn't want to say one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
We missed a great opportunity yesterday. So I know you guys are professionals, right? I'm strictly amateur, but one thing that I do, I'll say, I won't say pride myself on, but that North Carolina game, right? We had an excellent opportunity, and I put this in the Discord to, right? They had to listen to everybody's. They shouldn't have been in. They shouldn't have been in. They shouldn't have been in for 2 days before that game, right? In those situations, emotionally, mentally, right? They were wanting to prove something. I think they might make the Sweet 16. I hate to say that. I know might be sound a little crazy.
No. Let me say this, man. Like, and not to interrupt you, but TJ brought up, me and TJ were texting before the show, and he brought up an excellent point of exactly the same like thought process that you just brought up, and I didn't think of it at all. And I think that you both are absolutely correct.
Well,
that not only them hearing that they shouldn't have been in, but then seeing literally a governor of West Virginia like making the point that West Virginia should have been in, which I think we all agree that they should have. But North Carolina felt that pressure of saying, okay, it is foot on the gas and we are not letting it go. We are just going to choke you out on both sides. So I think you both made excellent points, man, in regards to that. So, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I agree.
Well, no, but it was almost a perfect storm. So going forward, right, try and think of this way, right? When you have a perfect storm of one team that is mentally and emotionally engaged more than they've been all season, right? Which was, I would say, right, they're full of blue bloods, but I don't think that they've really been engaged the entire season, right? The leg on that parlay, instead of taking it, and sometimes I fall into this trap, right, where I'll just take both sides. But on that one, I felt for 2 days that North Carolina was going to kill him, and I put it in the chat.
You said it in the chat.
Looking back at my bet, I put it in the chat, and so I was thinking to myself, after that, because I put bets in live while we're on the show sometimes, and sometimes I default to my bell curve, let Vegas do the hard work, and then I'm just going to take both sides, and that's what I sort of did in that one. But I felt for 2 days, listening to all the stories that North Carolina was going to kill them, right? So what we should have done on that one, and sometimes you can do this, right? You can make bets that are more game theory driven or scenario driven, right? Mm-hmm. So we could have replaced that 13.5 with a minus 21, right? For North Carolina. And that would have jumped that bet up to, because I actually did play with that for a little bit, and I talk myself out of it, right?
It's a big number, but I feel you. Yeah.
But just go to show you, right? So we're all gamblers, right? We all live a life at risk a little bit, right? If the universe is telling you something, do your best to listen, right?
Yeah.
I didn't
Hey,
listen, right?
bro, same thing. And not to interrupt you again, and we'll jump over to your other parlay, but the same thing with UC Riverside that we talked about this morning, right? That a team that took a spot from another team and they got blown the hell out. Like, the ball don't lie. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's just a phrase that we say, but like, it's real. All right, I'll throw it over to the other one, man. Break this one down too.
So the other one is just the same 6.5, 8.5, but I've reduced that over to 117, right? This should be a very safe bet, I think, as long as the game's close. When you do these type of bets, of course, right? Blowouts always kill you, right? Overtime will, if you combine it with an over and an under, overtime will always kill you, you know. But I think this is a very safe bet for today's game.
I like it. And look, we've got a record going on the show. Anytime a dog barks in the background, like, the bet is solid. TJ proved that on me on Friday with Florida against Tennessee. All right, so brilliant, and I love the explanations. And also, Robert, I do have to say this as well. If I were a pilot coming in on short final and you were running air traffic control, the sound of your voice is butter, my friend. I would be buttering the bread. Just, dude, perfect landing. You've got ATC written all over you.
You know, I've heard that before, and I actually went to a Mission Continues. It's a nonprofit for veterans, right? I'll say I was at a low point, and right. And they asked me when I was there, "Have you ever done radio? Why haven't you done radio?" And I was like, "I don't hear it." Right, but I've had other people tell me that.
Yeah.
But
brother,
if you remember my very first show, and I told guys in the chat this, right? If any of the guys ever come at you with a really strong, right? Charles used to be good for this, right? He'd say, "This line is disrespectful," or what have you. If one of the guys come at you with a strong opinion like that, just go with it, right? So I had a strong opinion on that Notre Dame game. I didn't go with it, right? But we all sort of were in that lane, right? And I think sometimes we talk ourselves out of something sometimes. If we think a game's going to go a certain way, just create a bet that fills that narrative and see what the odds land at, right? Toss $10 on it. Now, for me, right, if you guys look at my bets, there's a lot of crazy stuff in there, right? My bankroll is a little bit more than your average bankroll, right? And so I can afford to do things that are a little bit more crazy for odds, right? I mean,
but
I've hit
I
plus
get what
19,000
you're
already
saying.
this year.
Yeah, like, you know, the risk tolerance, right? And looking at it saying, okay, because you're right. Like, we'll talk ourselves out of it for sure as bettors. And I'm with you, man. Like, looking at it saying, all right, you know, I'm not playing this just crazy because I want something, you know, wild to have out there. Like, there's a thought process behind it. You know what I mean? And it goes to the same people, you know, who are really good at laddering prop bets, right? So, dude, I think you're spot on 100%, man. I like it a whole lot. I think that's all that we have. I wanted to, our man, Scott Davis, Big Scott, said tennis. I cannot pronounce the last name, so forgive me on that. Nick Kyrgios to win a set. No, plus 120. Match starts in 15 minutes. All right, Scott, I'm in on that. I'm going to put that in right now. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I love this. I hope we have more shows where we fill up the screen. Everybody, you all crushed it. Bibbo, Seth, the Prince of Picks himself, and TJ Parker. Speaking of TJ, will be live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, breaking down week 6 of college baseball. So come join us. We'll have a ton of fun. But until then, everybody, best of luck. Let's cash these damn tickets. All right. And we will see you tonight. Thanks.
Who's got it better than us?